The whole truth, nothing but the truth.
Your Honor, are you judging me? And no law is above God's law. So
if you're into courtroom chaos like this, make sure to hit like and subscribe. It really helps out a ton. Now, back to today's case. We've got an absolutely wild hearing on deck. That woman you see in the top left? Yeah, she's here because she failed to pay $2,000 in court fees. And her big legal defense? She claims she's not a citizen and that God's law outranks everyone else's, even though she's been caught shoplifting and doing all kinds of shady stuff. The whole thing is so ridiculous that it's honestly entertaining to watch. The judge, meanwhile, keeps this totally calm, seen it all demeanor, which just makes his reactions to her nonsense even funnier. In the end, he hands down a pretty solid sentence, one I think she completely earned because she's clearly out of her mind. Shout out to court nerds for capturing this gem. We're going to watch it together, and I'll jump in here and there to break it down. Let's check out this disaster of a defense, where both the attorney and the judge shut her down in spectacular fashion.
We're asking that Ms. Lott is incarcerated until the $2,755.40 is paid, Your Honor. And Your Honor, I am asking for attorney fees for today. Your Honor, and even me having to file this motion and continue to, I guess, seek attorney fees from Ms. Lott, Your Honor.
What are you asking for today?
Your Honor, for today, Your Honor, I'm asking for $1,500, Your Honor. And I can provide my affidavit to the court, Your Honor. We had to communicate with the court, Your Honor. I've been practicing law since 2008, Your Honor. I've been in good standing since that time. Your Honor, I charge my client a flat fee of the $1,500 just to try to see, just so we can file this motion for incarceration.
All right, Ms. Lott, raise your right hand. You swear or affirm the evidence you're about to present in the matter and hearing should be the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth.
Your Honor, are you judging me?
If you want to call it that, but I assume you want to testify on your own behalf.
Yes, I do. And if the attorney is not going to be sworn in, that is a conflict of interest. And I have filed motions. I filed a quo warranto because I have searched for law licenses and I have not found any. There's been no true judges since 1789, and the United States filed a Chapter 11 in 1933, which lost their sovereignty as a government. So I can't even be heard here. I have asked the court to provide me documentation stating that this is an Article 3 court. I have not gotten anything back from the judge with any type of documentation from the Attorney General, from the Secretary of State. You guys have not had permission to try me, and no law is above God's law. So I cannot honor any of your laws. It supersedes every single law that you guys have given me. I have tried to settle this in court. I have filed a fiduciary relationship 56. I am friends with the IRS. I have attempted to settle with a $20 money order because there is no money with the court, and everything was sent back. So rejection of payment is payment, Your Honor. And my religion strongly prohibits any satanic laws or rituals, and I cannot serve two masters. So either I don't even know what to do here in this matter, because I have asked to be tried in an Article 3 court. This is not a court of equity. God's law trumps all laws made by man. God also says no man should be judged, or you will be judged. This is my religion. I have not broken any of God's laws. I have not committed any crimes. I have not harmed my offspring. I am the first lien holder on my child's estate. So there is nothing that I can do for Miss LaFleur, and I will not be paying it because my God told me not to. He gave me the instructions on what to do, and you guys refused it. You guys refused my quo warranto because it wasn't written in the way that you accepted, but I am not under your laws. I am friends with the IRS. I have sent out my documentation. I have my own contract with myself. I don't have a contract with you guys. I have not signed anything, and I am not a 14th Amendment corporate war citizen. I am a natural person. That is what I have to say.
You have any questions for Ms. Lott, Ms. St. Fleur?
Yes, Ms. Lott, were you present in court for the petition for a legitimation with Tariq Crump?
Ms. LaFleur, can you provide me your...
It's St. Fleur. It's St. Fleur. It's not LaFleur. If we're gonna quote all of these articles, make sure you get my name right. It's St. Fleur.
Like Florida.
It's St. Fleur. Well, just were you in court? I mean, I'm not sure if any of the articles could tell me, but were you in court?
Questions. I have no further answers for any of your questions.
Wow, she really just talked in circles for that entire segment. I'm not sure how the judge managed to keep a straight face. Maybe it's because he's been on the bench forever and has literally heard it all. Or maybe it's because this woman is operating on a completely different planet. She's obviously delusional. I mean, I get where she thinks she's coming from with the whole sovereign citizen spiel, sure. Nobody wants to feel controlled by the government. But when you're out here intentionally breaking the law, shoplifting, racking up fines, and then refusing to pay the fees, your argument instantly falls apart. This isn't some wrongful accusation case where she could at least try that angle. No, she's just flat out guilty. And whether she's genuinely unstable or just putting on an act is debatable, but I'm leaning toward her actually being unhinged. Based on this Zoom hearing alone, she should either be locked up or at least evaluated because her thinking is completely detached from reality. The fact that the judge sat there letting her talk without jumping in is almost comedic at this point. But this is pretty typical these days. The media and victim complex culture have convinced people they can do no wrong. I'm not pro-government or pro-law for the sake of it, but at some point you just have to own your actions. If you commit a crime, you do the time. That's it. Anyway, let's move on to the part where the judge finally loses patience and lays down a much harsher sentence than she expected.
I have the proof here, and this was sent back to me. This is the money order that I sent to the court.
That's that $20 thing you said?
Yes, it is. That is the settlement that is written in your laws. I did send the thing. They sent it back, and refusal of payment is payment, so I will handle it with the IRS from here.
Well, $20 doesn't equal $2,755.40.
Or any court fees cannot supersede to $20, and that is what I paid as a natural person. I don't know about any U.S. citizen. I'm not a U.S. citizen. I'm a natural person and a private American. I've not committed any crimes under God's law. I have not stolen. I have not bared false witnesses. I have not killed anyone. I have not dishonored my mother and my father, and I have not put any man before God, and I will not put any of you guys before God either.
Fine. All right, Ms. Lott, I'm going to find you in contempt of court for failure to pay the $2,755.40. Order you incarcerated, that is jailed, until you've paid the money.
I will be taking it up with the IRS, and I will be filing liens because you guys do not have liens over myself, my estate, or my child. So
You'll take it up with the sheriff first.
Oh, I will not, because the sheriff does not have any jurisdiction.
Turn yourself in, or the sheriff will come out and arrest you.
Jurisdiction over me, and the sheriff does not have any jurisdiction over me.
That's fine. Once you're released, I'll give you 90 days to pay an additional $1,500 for attorney's fees incurred by the plaintiff for today's proceeding. And I'll ask Ms. St. Fleur to submit the order.
Will do, Your Honor.
And include in that, the sheriff will notify the court when Ms. Lott has been arrested.
Can you guys provide me with evidence that you are Article 3 court?
I honestly have no idea what her game plan was here. Did she really think she could stroll into court, act like she's crazy, and walk out free? This is exactly the kind of thing I'd expect from someone not in their right mind. In the end, the judge gave her 6 months for refusing to pay that $2,000 in court fees stemming from her shoplifting or whatever other nonsense she pulled, and it was absolutely deserved. She's the textbook example of a victim mentality. People like this cling to that narrative and ride it into the ground. On the flip side, major respect to the judge. He handled the whole thing like a pro. Barely reacted, kept it cool, let her ramble, and then shut it down with a hammer drop. He saw right through her nonsense. Honestly, if she'd just been a little less arrogant and actually used some common sense, she could have walked away with maybe just a bigger fine. But no, she had to double down on the smugness and ended up in jail. And let's be real, I don't think prison will change her. She seems set in her I'm untouchable fantasy, convinced she's some divine figure above the law. The lesson here is simple: stay out of trouble and you won't have to fake being crazy. People like this just can't admit they're wrong, so they hide behind bogus victimhood. Newsflash, in most cases, you're not a victim, you're just making bad choices. Anyway, that's my breakdown. If you enjoyed it, hit like and subscribe, it really helps.